India defeated England by 7 wickets in the first T20I of the five-match series. Joining me today is former English spinner Monty Panesar. Monty, first of all, how are you and how are you feeling right now after England lost the first match?
I'm really good, thank you. Yeah, I was slightly surprised how dominant India were, especially when the pitch didn't appear to be turning much. But I suppose the fast bowlers didn't have much impact on Indian pitches at the moment. So I think England may have to re evaluate their strategy and possibly play an extra spinner in Chennai and one less seamer.
And where do you think England went wrong?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great question. I honestly think that um, the places that they went wrong, right, was obviously the spin department. 12 overs, 67 runs, 5 wickets. That's what the Indian spinners achieved. So I think that's going to be obviously the biggest impact for England. And we remember in Guyana when they played in the last T20 World Cup, they lost to India against spin as well. So I think spin's going to be the crucial factor now in the rest of the T20 matches.
Right now, you talked about Joss Butler. And do you think Joss Butler, since the time he changed his position right from opening to number three, this has created some kind of impact in the English batting order? In this match, also, we saw only Josh Butler was the one who scored runs. Otherwise, no other batter was looking like a great touch and all.
Yeah, because Joss Butler's showing his experience in the IPL. He knows how to play against the Indian spinners. He's the one who's picking the lengths very quickly. And the ball wasn't turning much, let's be honest. It wasn't turning. It was just a bit of bounce. But Indian spinners were smart with their angles. So I think that was one thing that what England batsmen need to do is play with a full face bat and not think it's going to turn big. But in Chennai, it's going to be the opposite now. It's going to be turning, I think. It's on the red soil pitch. So they've got to adjust very quickly to the conditions and not just play one way that's been successful maybe in England. They may have to change slightly their game plans in India and against a different spin attack. So they need to watch Joss Butler. Listen to him. How is he choosing which bowler at what time in the over he goes for the boundaries. How is he constructing his innings? So he's the only one who's done well, which doesn't surprise me because he's the one who's done really well in the IPL as well.
In recent time, we heard a lot about Jacob Bethel. Since the time RCB bought him in the IPL, he has been one of the players who is in the limelight. And do you think that this series is very important for him to stay in England's T20 dream and also in the coming IPL as well?
Look, absolutely. Look, we saw him in the Big Bash. Like he got opportunity to bowl and he did really well. And I think Jacob Bethel in T20, you got to get him to bowl as well, so then he can think what batsmen are thinking, and then when it comes to his batting, it will help him to also what these experienced spinners are thinking, how to get him out. So it makes him a better thinking cricketer. So I think if Jacob Bethel is bowling, it will help his batting on these Indian pitches.
And what about Jofra Archer? Yesterday, he was brilliant with the ball. And do you think that in such conditions, Jofra Archer has that kind of game where that helps him to bowl fresh, to come out fresh whenever he comes, especially in the T20 format?
Yeah, look, Jofra Archer's, I think, going to be a huge addition for England. And I think they've got to use him wisely, not just burn him out. I know he's in good form, but in the Champions Trophy as well, I think his overs are going to be a major impact. So, listen to his body, listen to like how is he feeling each time. And even if he's feeling good, like just utilize him, on pitches that, in the Chennai pitch. They don't need to play Jofra Archer, because his overs probably be more useful on slightly the bouncier surface of Mumbai. And then anywhere where there's a bit of pace and bounce, I think you should do Jofra Archer, and then also keep him, like we say, fit and ready and not burnt out where he was, when he first played for England. So I think the workload that they put on Jofra Archer is going to be really important. So hopefully, he's honest as well and say, look, guys, I don't want to play in this game. It's going to be a slow, low turn. I want to save myself on the slightly faster, bouncy pitches. So, we don't want to see, Jofra Archer get injured again.
Yeah, and your words on Indian team. Since the time they won the T20 World Cup, the Suryakumar led team is going very big. Like they are dominating the T20 format. Your words on this team.
Yeah, look, absolutely. Look, I think, Suryakumar Yadav's been brilliant, brilliant leader. He seems like a very relaxed approach. I think he brings that freedom of expression, to the players. Go out and express yourself. No fear of failure, and I think I like your style of captaincy, which probably could help Gotham Gambhir to think, right, how do I, get the players to play with a bit of freedom, like, what was required, during the Border Gavaskar Trophy. So hopefully, this style of captaincy that Surya Kumar is showing, the sense of leadership that he has, will hopefully rub off on Gautam Gambhir, and then he can probably think, right, this is the way probably how I need to maybe go forward. But he's been superb, absolutely impressive.
In recent times, there has been a lot of chaos about captaincy and everything like that. Do you think in the coming future, if Surya Kumar Yadav performs well in ODIs as well, then he is gonna be India's top priority in white ball format when it comes to captaincy? Do you think something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think from T20 formats, his captaincy leadership skills is really good. He's rubbing off. Like, he's obviously spent time with the likes of Rohit Sharma, and being around Mumbai Indians team. So he's learned the art of leadership, and he's found it very easy. So I think he could be a potential, ODI captain in the future. I think the youngsters, thrive under him. He's really good with the younger talent as well. So yeah, absolutely. Like, if whenever Rohit Sharma thinks that it is time now, to move on from the ODI captaincy, I think Surya Kumar Yadav could be a perfect candidate.
What are thoughts on Shubman Gill? Recently, he has been named as India's vice captain for the Champions Trophy. In the past few months, we have seen that he has not performed. He has been not performing with the bat. So, do you think India is making a mistake by appointing Shubman Gill as vice captain?
Well, I think, they've got to just see how he goes, because he's obviously the captain at Gujarat Titans as well. So see how his captaincy is there. It's a big year for Shubham Gill. He started with immense potential, and he only averages what 36 in Test cricket. I think with his talent, at least he should be 45. So they've got to, like, work out quickly with Shubham Gill. Is he just a better player in the white ball format than the red ball? And it's a big year. If you can turn that around, and sometime it gets a bit, how do I say, needs to be a bit more sort of dynamic at the crease. It sounds it plays the game very easily, but then he gets out in very sort of clumsy ways as well. The ball's full and he plays across his pad, things like that. So he's got to be a bit more sharper once he's in, and show that. But he's got great potential. It'll be a shame if he doesn't carry on to that potential that we know what he's able to do.
Yeah, so this is a message you want to give Gautam Gambhir that please consider Surya Kumar Yadav as future ODI captain as well.
Absolutely, I'm so impressed by Suryakumar Yadav's style of captaincy, the way he just brings a very relaxed atmosphere, and he gives he empowers the younger players to actually go out there and play with freedom, and I think that's what India need. India likes that style of leadership, so I think he'll be a future ODI captain.
Only time will tell who will be the future ODI captain. And Monty, what about Brendan McCullum? Do you think? Do you think somewhere he's lacking that thing, which he has brought in Test cricket? He's not been able to deliver that in the T20 format.
Yeah, well, I think what it is, Brendan McCullum is trying to bring baseball to T20 and ODI cricket, and he's done it at the moment with packing fast bowlers. Only time will tell if that strategy really helps. And it felt like um, a little bit one-sided. Once the Indian batters got hold of the pace and they measured it up really well, the others become easier. So if you go after Mark Wood and you hit him, 20 in and over like they did, the others become easier. They're sort of 5 kilometers, slower, and suddenly it all becomes very much one pace attack. It's a very one-dimensional attack yesterday, I found. And I think there wasn't anyone who could bowl a bit of swing, or movement in the air, or bowl a bit of sort of cutters and all that kind of stuff, the smart type of bowling. So I think, yeah, go with your fast bowlers, but don't pack with fast bowlers that it becomes easy. Abhishek Sharma, he lined up Mark Wood really well, and the rest of the fast bowlers became easy for him. So I think England may want to have a slow bowler who can bowl a bit of cutters and swing it. Um, than just going with full pace attack, because that's what Brendan McCullum approach is. He thinks by bowling fiery rockets on Indian pitches would bring Baz ball, and I just don't think it's the right strategy at the moment.
Yeah, and your thoughts on in recent time we have seen like India lost a test series 3-0 against New Zealand at home soil. The last time someone did the wonders was when you toured India back in 2012. And in the same way, India got crushed by Australia in the BGT. And do you think that this Gautam Gambhir and Rohit Sharma era is not working well for India? There is a change needed right now.
Well, I think, look, with Gautam Gambhir, you've got to give him time. I think he's a better coach, in my opinion, in the white ball format. And, it depends how he goes against England. If he does well there, I think that will be a relief for a few of the people in the BCCI department. And then in the Champions Trophy, if he does well there, then I think they may just think, okay, let's give Gautam Gambhir another series for Test cricket. Let's see how he does, in England. So I think they're just going to go series by series with Gautam Gambhir. And I think he's better suited for white ball. Obviously, red ball, bit of a question mark for him, obviously, as we all, not sure at the moment how he is as a coach. But because he's done so well in the IPL with KKR, as a coach, as a captain, um, I think, yeah, it doesn't surprise me that he started off really well, and I expect India to do well in the next sort of T20 series and the ODI stuff. But I think the real question mark probably be at the Champions Trophy. And during the Champions Trophy, if he does really well there, then if he wins it, then I think they'll give him like 12 months. They think 12 months is all yours. But it'd be interesting. It'd be really interesting to see, because um, I just feel that Gautam Gambhir is a good coach. I think he just, like Suryakumar Yadav, has found the right blend of leadership, relaxed approach, not to sort of, let's say, headmastery kind of style of
Yeah.
captaincy. That's working really well. And I think that's where Gautam's just got to sit down and work out what style of coach do I need to be very successful in this Indian side.
And Monty, next month we have Champions Trophy in Pakistan and in Dubai. Do you think India playing its matches in Dubai will also affect the other countries?
Well, I think it's a clear advantage for India, really. They just got to pick a squad for one style of pitch, which is Dubai. So it's easy for them. While the other teams, they've got to pick, two types of players. 11, for Dubai pitches or the pitches in Pakistan. And their squad, obviously, they can't just go with a heavy spin squad. They've got to have some spinners and some fast bowlers, because of the nature of Pakistan pitches. Probably they respond better on for seamers compared to the pitches in Dubai, which will be spinning. So that's a clear advantage for India. So, like, India got no excuse now. They know the conditions, and they should go out and win the Champions Trophy, right? So the pressure is actually all on them now. So they've got to go out there and perform. Where even the Indian media would know that, yeah, there is slightly advantage to India, but now you know they performed really well in the last ICC tournament in India during the World Cup. So the Champions Trophy, I think you expect India to get to the semi-finals or even to the finals, because they're a very strong team. Big tournaments, I think India always perform really well.
And do you think that Champions Trophy not being held completely in Pakistan has also put Pakistan's morale down?
No, look, I think Pakistan is massive. For a Champions Trophy, like an ICC event in Pakistan happening. They must be absolutely delighted with it. It's big for them. It's big for the fans, and it's important. For cricket, for nations go, if India obviously can't go because of security reasons, other countries must go to Pakistan, play Test cricket, ODIs, T20, and get more cricket going to Pakistan, because it's important. A strong Pakistan team, strong India team. Wow, there's more than a billion fans who'll be tuning in for that game as well. So I think it's good for cricket when Pakistan and India play against each other, and hopefully in the future, we may even see Test cricket, in a neutral nation, maybe in England. You know, I'm in England. I can I can go and see them, and you know have a series here. Manchester, Birmingham would be packed up with stadiums, and there may be one test match in Lords. A three-test series, India, Pakistan in England. Wow, that would be a sellout.
Yeah, and I think already England is the only one location in the last 3 4 years that is hosting the test matches at neutral value, the WTC final.
Yeah, because I think it's just that people love the grounds, the cricket, the whole like fans and everything that that comes with it. But playing Test cricket in England, so I would love to see an India Pakistan Test series in England.
Yeah, and lastly, do you see Virat Kohli in the Indian team when India will tour England after the IPL?
Absolutely. Look, it doesn't matter how he performs, what sort of runs he scores. That's not the issue. You need Virat Kohli there in England because you ask any fast bowler and you say Virat Kohli's not on tour, they'll be thinking, oh, happy days. I'm absolutely delighted with this. Virat Kohli there is still a threat. He may not be on the top of his form. And the England bowlers will probably again attack that fourth, fifth stump line. But Virat Kohli on tour is an absolute must. He needs to be there, and hopefully he'll turn it around. He'll turn around. He's got 5 Test matches to turn around his form in Test cricket, and let's hope he does able to do that. It'll be a sad end, to his Test career if he's has an absolute drought, and then the BCCI just say, look, Virat Kohli, Oval is going to be your last Test match, mate, because you just, we've taken a chance on you over the last, 9 to 12 months. You're not performing well. We have to move on.
Okay, your last words had totally silenced me for a bit.
Don't worry, don't worry. We all wish that does not happen. I'm just saying, I wish Virat Kohli finds his form, scores the runs, and at the Oval gets 100. There you go.
Yeah, that is all we as an Indian want, and I hope the fans all around the world would be wanting the same. And
Yes.
who do you see leading the Indian team when India will tour England that time?
If they haven't got the right captain in mind, they may just think, look, Virat Kohli, why don't you, for a one-off series, become the captain, and it could help his batting. I think his captaincy, you've seen his record is amazing. His captain, when he's captain for India, his batting record is good. So they may even just say, you know what, for this 5 Test matches, let's make Virat Kohli captain. That is a very good option.
Thank you so much for joining us, Monty. And what is the scoreline that you are predicting for this series, T20 series?
Oh, I think India will win. I
You are
don't know.
accepting that India is going to win the series.
I
Four
think India
matches
will
are
win the
still left.
series. Yes, yes, India will win the series, and the ODI. Yeah, I think India will win the series because I think now, because the way England struggle against spin, it'll be. I don't know how they'll turn it around. To just don't have enough batters. Only Josh Buttler has adjusted. If they're able to adjust against the spin of India, then maybe England got a chance. But I just can't see it how they're going to do it.
Okay, so I have one more question in my mind, and I will take that. Do you think if Josh Butler does not perform well in the Champions Trophy as captain, then England should also look at the other options when it comes to captaincy?
No, I think they'll stick with Joss Butler because I think Joss Butler is just such a great addition to the squad, and it's not his form; it's his leadership is amazing. So I think Joss Butler himself has so much experience that him just being there will help the rest of the team. So I think Joss Butler. Um, I think he will stay as captain even after the Champions Trophy, and they're possibly until maybe the next T20 World Cup, which is in Sri Lanka, and India.
India,
So
India, India is
yeah,
hosting the next T20
yeah.
World Cup.
Well, India and Sri Lanka. Sorry,
Yeah,
India
exactly.
majority, Sri Lanka minority. That's a yeah. Okay. Anyway, India. Yeah, it's in India, and so I think yeah. Until then, I think Joss Butler will remain the captain.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Monty.
Thank you.